Hey guys, I'm Darren Miles of Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. And today I want to talk to you about my Sony repair experience. I want to tell you about an experience that I had recently with Sony and their electronics division and the repair of one of my lenses. I've been a long-time member, or had been previously been a member of Canon Professional Services and Nikon Professional Services, and by and large, they're both pretty good, and they both do a pretty good job of repairing lenses and getting them back to you in a reasonable amount of time. But I never had that opportunity to utilize Sony until recently. About a month ago, I dropped my 85mm FE f1.8 lens. Great lens, used all the time, especially in portraits. And I picked it up recently and used it on a portrait shoot when I was out in the field. And when I got back to my computer, it was then that I realized that the images looked terrible, especially wide open. They were blurry, nothing was really in focus, nothing was sharp. It was a mess. It wasn't good at all. And then it had dawned on me that, oh yeah, I dropped it and I totally forgot to bother even checking it because I was in the middle of doing so many things. So I didn't check it. Sure enough, it was damaged. And about a week ago, I sent it into Sony. And that was last, let's see, Wednesday or Thursday. And then the following Friday, so about 8 days later, I got a phone call from Sony saying, hey, our technicians have taken a look at your FE 85mm f1.8, and we determined that it is damaged beyond economic sense to repair it. And I was like, oh, I guess I had damaged it much worse than I had realized. However, much to my pleasant surprise, Sony offered me what they referred to as an exchange.
Good morning, Mr. Darren Miles. This is Gus calling you once again from Sony Electronics. At your earliest convenience, please give us a call back at 1-800-222-7669. I'm calling you regarding the lens that you sent into Precision Camera for repair. And unfortunately, they won't be able to repair the unit because the repair cost is too high. It's over 80% of the total price of a new unit. We would like to offer you an exchange, so we'll appreciate it very much if you give us a call back as soon as possible. Thank you for choosing Sony. Have a nice day.
In my mind, I'm thinking, what's an exchange? What does that even mean? So I finally got a hold of Sony. I called them. And by the way, before I go any further, when I initially called Sony, they had at first told me the typical or estimated repair for the FE 85mm lens, f1.8 lens, is typically around $250. So I was thinking in my mind, I'm going to spend at least that much money. So anyway, fast forward to that phone call, they offered to do an exchange, and I asked, what does that mean? And they're like, well, Mr. Miles, we will send you a brand new FE 85mm f1.8. And I was like, okay. I'm thinking, oh, how much is this going to cost me? Well, sure enough, much to my pleasant surprise, they said, and the cost to do that is $180. And I thought to myself, that's a really good deal. $180 for a brand new FE 85mm f1.8 lens. I mean, it's a $599 lens at list price new. So I'm thinking that's a pretty good deal. So yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. Let's go ahead and do that. So that was 2 days ago. Actually, that was 1 day ago. That was yesterday. And they said that the lens should be delivered to me in 5 to 7 business days. Now, I'll keep you posted as to what that actually turns out being. So actually, as I was recording this video, I'd like to give you an update. I was notified by Sony that my lens has in fact been shipped out, the new one, and it's going to arrive here in 2 business days. So they're actually going to send it back to me via FedEx, second day air. Another reason why I'm like, wow, this has been a much more pleasant experience than I was expecting. So far, so great. But overall, for $180 to get a brand new lens, I think that's a pretty good deal. Now, I'm curious to see how Sony would handle it if it were, say, the Sony 85 f1.4 G Master or the 70-200 or something that's a lot more expensive. The FE 85, though not cheap at $600, is by no means the same cost as a G Master. But just the same, this is my first interaction with Sony, and I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised as to how they handled this particular transaction. So when that lens arrives, I'll give a follow-up to let you know how it turned out. Now, on a side note, I have gotten extraordinarily busy the last 4 weeks. Very typical this time of year. Lots of real estate listings because all the folks from up north come down to Florida. It is the holiday season. I'm doing a lot of holiday cards. And the real estate video piece of my business has picked up rather dramatically. So I haven't had a whole lot of time for YouTube. I am in the process of working on some stuff, so please keep your eyes peeled. And next week, for the first time in my entire life, I'm going to be going to Hong Kong. So if any of my YouTube peeps are in Hong Kong, maybe you can comment down below and give me some recommendations as to some good places to go, preferably away from the protests, to photograph different parts of the city. As I've never been there, I'm totally unfamiliar with Hong Kong, and I'm really curious and excited to check it out. So I'm Darren Miles Photography, based here in beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida. If you like videos like this, go ahead and give me a like, or better yet, subscribe. And until the next time, happy shooting and stay tuned.